Well, howdy, one and all. Welcome, welcome. I can probably increase the bit rate, can't I? Because it's only me today. Yes, excellent.
You don't want to skip this Booking.com resort. All inclusive.
That's the ad for this live. Hello, hello, hello. Is it coming through nice and clear? Bit low contrast? High contrast? I don't know. So we've got a slightly different lighting setup. Yeah, that looks a little better. Hello everyone. So this is a solo live from me talking about the new short treks. Finally able to see them. Stuart did a live on them after they came out, and now it's my chance to do a first look reaction review of both with some graphics, because we got the graphics, and give my thoughts. I'll try to stay away from the publicness. And let's see, Stuart. Stuart, any chance you can share this live? But yeah, I want to give my thoughts. It's some Samuel Guy. Yes, it is me. It is me. 36 people watching. Hopefully we can get to 50 or 60 would be great, because there's two shorts to look at today with very different. I'm missing a super important element. Yes, the captain. The captain is doing real life stuff today, as we can occasionally do. This is a last minute live decision by me to come join you and have a look, because fitting in at a time we can both go live is going to be quite difficult, as we've got all the days sort of booked in next week. So I thought I'd do a first reaction, chat with you all, because he did one, and hopefully we'll do a video edited version, which will be shorter and neater, coming early next week. So, yay! Still going to get stuff. Not reversed on the webcam rather than Skype. That's cool. So we have two shorts today. We have the Stars one. What's it called? The Girl Who Made the Stars, and Ephraim and Dot. So interesting content. Maybe these are the last two of the 2019 shorts before the Picard one comes out in early 2020, before the new show. We're assuming it all linked together. Hey, Prime 1351. Have to run. Just stopping by to say, love the canon TMP stuff in Ephraim and Dot. Well, sort of. And thanks, Stuart. Enjoy the party for sure. Have a nice time. Glad we caught you. And Jeff is driving. Fun. But yeah, so we're going to talk about the shorter of the two in terms of maybe interest factor, which is The Girl Who Made the Stars. And as ever, guys, this is a live based on super chats, based on talking to you guys. So if you have a comment, question, and actually want it to be heard guaranteed, then that's a super chat, and then I'll read those out. Otherwise, I will be reviewing these and talking about them, and then looking at the main chat around that. But super chats guaranteed to be read, etc., etc. Greetings, Alpha Nation. Anyway, so the first one, The Girl Who Made the Stars, which is the story of the story that Michael Burnham said at the very start of season 2. A story that already at that part of the time felt unnecessary anyway. So weird that they would choose to go with this one. Although it started kind of promisingly with this cool shot of space station, and then it cuts to that. I'm not sure what this meant, given the fact that they're not on a space station, they're around a planet, but okay. And then you got young itty bitty Burnham before her dad gets mercilessly, horribly, brutally killed, and her mum gets lost in a time suit for all of time. So, you know, really great time to show her life. And yet the same chap who actually is at least the likeness is actually the husband of Sonequa Martin Green in real life. So fun there. And he's got a Section 31 badge, which I guess is a nice touch, although obviously we'd rather they didn't have so much Section 31 stuff. A SWTX Chaser should have used the K7 style station. I mean, there's no reason, there's no reason to use a station at all. I mean, it's a fine looking station. It's actually one of the better designs of the show. I don't want to listen to headphones. Can I hear myself? I can hear myself. I don't need headphones, do I? You can still hear me, can't you? Yeah. But they're on that planet with the weird, with like the misty stuff. I guess I missed out on the spoiler. I don't know what spoilers I gave there. Now, it's weird though, guys, that Michael Burnham had a tardigrade toy. I feel like tardigrades is such a non-part of the universe that what a chance of having a tardigrade toy, especially as then I didn't get a specific sense of connection between her and Ripper. In season 1, it was more just a biological, you know, oh look, it's an interesting life form, not, oh my god, I love these when I was a kid. What a weird retcon that is weird. I mean, it's meant to be a reference to itself. Yeah, spoiler about Burnham's mum. Well, I'm sorry, Stuart, but I think that is a spoiler of a while ago at this point. And she's afraid of the dark. And this could have been kind of interesting short if it was about the time suit and about the dad and Michael Burnham was there as a young person. But to have it be about the actual story feels so pointless. I don't know. So then they have all these little sci-fi things. I guess they're night lights. And then she said, "Oh, I'm afraid of the darkness." And he's all like, "Ah, yes, but there's a way to get over the fear of the darkness." And then he talks about this ancient African myth, which I can't imagine is real, given the fact that it has aliens in it, with a ship, explicitly called a ship. Oh, Sam, do you do things? No. What? I mean, I'll give him credit. The visuals in this are rather lovely. They're a nice sort of hybrid of photoreal in terms of like everything's proportioned right. But as soon as you hit into the story, you're wondering when's the sci-fi going to happen? When's the actual Star Trek going to happen? Because you know maybe they could cut it back to Burnham being retold. Oh, it's a real myth, alien and all. So it's even less creative by the team. That's bizarre. And the dad plays the. Stuart shouldn't be watching this, you know, because then we'll have less talk about when we get there. Stuart, thanks for joining in, but your time has. You have served your wonderful purpose, and it's a real myth. That's strange. Yes, Dan 23. But this story was spoiled in Discovery Season 2, Episode 1. It's the same story. So you get this lovely animated thing. I like the young Burnham as well. Might as well, gives the actors more to do. And they tell this kind of... yes, oomph. Burnham, the young brat. Stuart. They talk about how, in this part of the timeline of the Earth of this story, humans are afraid of the dark and they can only go out during the day. But Burnham says, yes, but we can go farm outside of the dark. Okay, sure. But the guy's like, no. But she's like, yes. Well, I'll go out as a child. That's safe. And then she goes out, finds this. I like the idea of this middle bit where she's just exploring. She's got an egg somehow with the firebug thing, which is nice enough. And this scene being chased by the spirit boa constrictor person. I mean, it's a myth. It doesn't mean the thing, does it? So who the hell knows what this is? It's all symbolic, so it really doesn't matter any of it. But this scene, like these visuals, I mean, this is exactly what happened to Burnham with Spock. If you recall, she ran through and it was very much cut the same way. Where she was, Spock's like, "Oh, get away!" and she's running away and chased by this creature, and then Sarah and stuff turn up. So this is like a very oddly similar parallel scene. So, and then cracks the egg, thing leaves, and then she hides like Michael Burnham does, and then she sees a shooting star spaceship, which is a weird touch, but some sci-fi, yay. She goes towards the light because light's safer. It's revealed to be an alien life form, which I was wondering if trying to be parallels with the Red Angel, if they're trying to link it in a sense. I mean, it's very weird to have a alien in an African story, but sure. And also it's symbolic, so it's weird to have a symbolic alien. Weird to even think. I mean, obviously it's not an alien. I'm sure the original story it was a creature from beyond, but since in the story they didn't have stars yet, there is no sense of out. I don't know. And she's all like, oh, I want to be afraid, and how do I not be afraid of the darkness? And the alien shows her the universe. And for some reason I was getting weird senses that this is going to play a bigger part in the show, that this creature is going to be in season 3, that it's going to show Michael Burnham the universe, and this is a literal scene in a sense. Very strange, very strange. But yes, we get some glowy visuals, and how do we be not afraid of the dark, and it gives us this ball thing, which is alien technology, and again, very strange for an African myth to give an alien to give a ball of technology, but sure. And she's like, bye, alien spaceship, which warps away. Sure. And then she reveals it and adds the stars to the universe. So I guess it's the god creature, because, well, there's no reason to make that much sense of it, but weird. Such an odd story. I know it's meant to be symbolic of finding light within yourself, but if you have to find an alien to tell you there's life, because really you run away from the darkness to find your inner light, which is from an alien spaceship, doesn't really link to much. But yes, everyone's happy, and then this Michael Burnham almost becomes a queen and a warrior queen, whereas the dad's like, hello, I'm chill, I'm just a dude with a stick, and she's like, I am this cool bow and arrow person, and she's inspired, doesn't need the light anymore. And then you see that's a rather cool shot though, I like that. In the myth they were gods, which could have been aliens, how you interpret it. Yes, but he's saying as if they're aliens. The animation is good. Yes, it is. And there you go. That's the entire story of the first one. Relatively pointless. It's really just a show. Just feels to me just like a showpiece of a small VFX studio sort of thing. They said, hey CBS, we can make you an animation short. Oh, what are you gonna do? Oh, I'll make something with something Earth-based because we can do that. And they say, oh, that's great. Well, I think with this animation style, it would have been cool to see some actual on-ship stuff. Michael Burnham early story would have been more interesting. So it's forgettable, adds nothing, and could have been kind of cool. But okay, there you go. There's a short one. It was fine, but I mean, nothing particularly interesting. And why you'd pick this as one of your 6 is sad, really. But waste of money. I think that's a good way of saying it. 59 people watching, 33 likes, and only 2 super chats so far. Please do super chat. We're trying to get at least like $35, $40 would be super duper. So if you can help out, that would be great. But the more interesting one, because I want to burn through the first one first, is Ephraim and Dot. And this one, they actually showed some more trailer stuff from, and it had, the refit and a better prey and some cool stuff. So this one had a lot more promise, although also it has a robot repair droid, which is one of our top worst things of season 2. But Zathrix. I think the first one would have been an interesting character building moment for Burnham if it weren't quite so detached from the main show, and if Burnham had a bit more character development. Yes, exactly. No, perfect. If the short had really been that story to cut with her doing a day and the parents, you'd see them, and And yeah, it could be interesting, but learn nothing, gain nothing, except see that she's a brat out as the kids are at the start. But thank you, mate. $10 is a really generous super chat, and those make a massive difference. So 20 more, and we've made something today. But the second one, as I say, Ephraim and Dot. Now this is a very odd one, because in season 1, we're introduced to this creature. While not explicit, it's sort of implied that it does actually cause, it does kill some people and some Klingons as well. Certainly some Klingons if they can shoot it, but I mean, it's introduced in season 1 as this terrifying, not villainous, but terrifying creature that mauls and gruesomely kills things and can eat through metal, and, deadly. And then it kills the security officer because she's stupid, and then they make friends with it, and then they let it go. But I think of it as a dangerous creature more than a friendly thing, and so to make it this cuddly animal, despite its first real introduction was killing things, is very strange, and it shows that this is made for kids, but Discovery wasn't, so I don't know why you'd make a kids short based on the killer creature. There is a real disconnect there in terms of vibe. Real disconnect. But that's okay. Anyway, so this short, I had heard a few things. I heard negative things, but I relatively enjoyed it. It was both ambitious and not ambitious at the same time in different ways. They wanted to hit a lot of small things without actually giving any sort of quality to them, which is weird. And there's a lot of lack of logic in this. And obviously, disclaimer, this short, I mean, you can't take as canon, as part of canon, as anything. I mean, this is just completely like a holiday commercial. It's like, you know how there was that one commercial that James Stewart and William Shatner did, where Scotty beamed them up from planet, and they were beamed, and they swapped bodies and stuff. Like, that's not canon, obviously. It's just a fun, silly thing. So this thing, has nothing connections with actual Star Trek. So that, I'm going to obviously complain about things that make no sense. But from that context, it's completely its own thing, and therefore, Gareth, Sam, from what I've heard, they are calling it canon. Well, that I strongly doubt that makes sense. Otherwise, it retcons a ton of stupid stuff, which is dumb. So I don't think they could possibly argue that. But anyway, so tardigrade, this killer creature from episode 1, or 3, 4, and 5, I guess, it can travel mycelial lanes, and it's pregnant, and it can make babies, and that's its important thing. It finds this nice little warm cubby hole, and then the Enterprise drops out of warp for some unknown reason. There's no reason, it just does. And it smashes into the... That's fun! That's cute! That's cute. And obviously, oh no, that's the tardigrade's sort of possible home. And this is definitely not the same tardigrade as is Ripper. I mean, there's no, I didn't take that at all for a second. This is just another random tardigrade in a random universe or a random thing. But it is the Disco Prize. It's the disco variant of their respective visual style. Bumps into it, we get some relatively nice shots. It tries to get in, and it's weird that it can't get in, given the fact that it was able to just get through. It was able to get through the hull of the Glen very easily. So that's weird. I was expecting to burrow through. And Gareth Faircore, this thing retcons TOS, so it's all Disco Prize, no more TOS. No. Gareth, remember, you've got Into Mirror Darkly, you've got all good thing, all different shows that do show TOS Connie. This one thing can't erase all those, otherwise you've got to actually go back and change all those, so no, it doesn't. I see the Tardigrade short as an in-universe, semi-educational show aimed at young Persian children. Yeah. Sure. But it tries to get in, but fails, and it goes up to a window, and it suddenly cuts to Kirk and Khan, which is a bizarre twist of fate. As we know, there is no window in sickbay. There was no window in sickbay. And they use relatively weird versions of the clips from the show in terms of audio levels. But it's weird, though, that in this shot, They get the bio beds almost entirely right. They get the monitors right. I mean, the likenesses aren't particularly amazing, but they're just simple animation people. So they get a lot of stuff right here. The uniforms are correct. And yet these disco prize, I mean, you know, I was expecting, if Khans, I was expecting this to be a full disco version of it, because that's whatever they want to do. So it would have been their own uniforms and stuff. But it's weird they would keep it some effort. This is a short where they have some effort put in, or not effort put in. It's very confusing. But yeah, they have this Khan sequence, which, I mean, obviously, if you take it literally, they de-warped. Even at this point, they've still had a botany bay next to them, which means they weren't at warp. So there, see, already, therefore, you can't connect the two. It's just meant to be fun and silly. And the window, it is daft. But anyway, Tardigrade's like, oh, look! It's a thing with people. That's weird. That's a weird end to the room, but okay. Didn't even see that. Okay. No more super chats, guys. I'll read anything you guys want me to say. The Animated Enterprise is beautiful. Yes, it did good. It did good. And so now, a repair bot, which were one of the worst things of Discovery Season 2, they were introduced in the terrible battle at the end of the season to come out and repair things, even though they don't actually repair or change the state of anything in the many minutes they had to do. So completely effortless and a waste of everyone's money. But anyways, Dot, the bot, comes out of a port and is like, oh no, it's a tardigrade. Even though later on it reads that the alien life is alien life, but it doesn't, even though it's not attacking the ship at this point, or has damaged the ship, it still thinks of it as a threat, despite whatever. Doesn't really make, this short doesn't make sense, it's fine. And it tases the tardigrade. Right. Okay, sure, whatever. And then leaves. I mean, what is it trying to do? What is it trying to do? It's just trying to shock somebody for like this. Oh, no, it just doesn't. Whatever. Introduction of Dot. And he goes back in, and the tardigrade gets sucked in for some reason. Even though it's a robot, so a robot wouldn't need a vacuum, so there's no reason to be sucked in. But it's cute, and it goes through this very massively long corridor, which is huge, and on the, again, classic, dots are meant to be this small. Yes, dots are teeny. But yeah, it goes through these things, has a robot flying mouth, and the tardigrade hits Dot, and it zooms through, and it hits paint, and lots of uniforms and things, and smashed against the wall. And I'll say it was entertaining, but it had no logic to it. You know, it's such a strange. It's like someone not on drugs, but somebody who they just said, "Oh, this, then this, then this," and they're like, "Oh, we can make it Star Trek." That's what they did. They retconned it to be Star Trek after the fact. SWTX Chaser, bunch of Hallies in there. Ooh. Pretty close, yeah. Oh, Zathras. 5 more, and brilliant, you guys are super. Zathras, $5. Is it just me, or is everything in this episode weirdly out of scale? Tardigrade, ship, and robot all seem out of proportion. Yes, sirree. I don't know why you'd build a corridor designed for these dot machines. That's clearly completely not their size, and this goes up to an airlock. I mean, this is obviously the way they leave the ship, but it's so inefficient. Eugene puts in 2,000 rubles, which is 23 pounds, which is 30-ish dollars. Oh, thank you, Eugene, very kind. CBS, it's canon. Me, you keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means. Well, clearly it's not canon. I mean, you can't justify it. A cartoon where they ignore every law, clearly it's not canon. I mean, that's great. Great comment. Very simply said. You have a good way with words. Fleetball Swiftback found it at $1.99. Thank you. Found it to be very. Oh yeah, I like that. Found it to be Star Trek's version of Tom and Jerry. That I really like. That I agree with. Although Tardigrade is only trying to be nice in this one, pretty much. Tez, it's for kids. Why is it marketed and distributed next to a show with foul language, violence, graphics, violence, and gore? It's true. It is I mean, this is maybe for Star Trek fans, because it has the Enterprise in it, but they'd be confused by which Enterprise it was, and they'd be very confused by a random creature and a robot, which robots are not in Star Trek. So it's not for Star Trek fans. It's not for Discovery fans because it's a very aggressive, dark show. And kids, I mean, really, is this what you're going to show them on a paid service, all access? You're going to show them this as the first thing you show them Star Trek, this weird thing that represents nothing else in Trek. I mean, it's just a fun bonus. Yeah, so who's the short for? Eugene's comment is a quote from The Princess Bride. Really? They talk about canon in Princess Bride? Huh. I will say it is bright. I mean, look, you can see how bright this is. So it is good for bright kids. As in, oh yeah, if we accept it as canon, then we have to accept the cartoon physics as canon, meaning there's no longer a reason not to do an anime crossover. That'd just be silly. Yes. And 76 people watching, which is brilliant. Thank you. Oh, no, just a response. Okay, what was your response? Sorry. Where's your response, Eugene? I can't see it. Has Sam never seen The Princess Bride? I'm confused. Maybe. Don't know. Okay. Anyway, so then the tardigrade leaves, runs through the halls. You know, since the tardigrade, I kept thinking in this episode, the tardigrade can, and I'm sure if it goes to its own, like if it goes to its transphasic warp thing, it can be inside a ship and not worry. Why was it running away from this? It's got its eggs. It can just find a new place. I have no idea why this entire short. Like, I was expecting a reason for this short. I can't imagine the shield able to keep it from leaving. So I thought, well, what's the purpose of this tardigrade? What's it thinking? Anyway, so it chases it, and then the tardigrade gets sucked into a pipe. You see, this is why. This is why if you say it's canon, if it's canon, look, think, pipe stretches, it goes through. So clearly, you can't take it as canon because it's stupid and cartoony. And what is it? What is this trying to be? And then we get embarrassing pipe sequence like JJ. Is what I thought it was. We're back in the brewery, which is embarrassing. And then for some reason, this pipe gets from the engineering room, sort of. Although I'm assuming it's the engineering room. I mean, it's got one piece engineering room, but everything else is wrong. So therefore, is it? But I like that it thinks it's warm. It's cute, I guess. I mean, I like the characterization of tardigrade. It's cute. It's much better than Ripper. Jesus, he was not a friendly chap. Not at all. And so he fuzzes into the warp core somehow. I mean, I don't know. He gets in here somehow. And I've been to the actual warp core, and there isn't a floor to that. Well, there is a floor. There isn't a way of getting up there. And he's in the warp core, sort of. At least a weird non-warp core. At least they sort of tried there vaguely. And it's like, oh, it's so cute, warm. And look at this face. Look at your face. Oh, it's so cute. It's like, oh, it's so warm. It's so warm. And tardigrades are very big in the show. In the Discovery, the tardigrade wouldn't fit in the warp core, and it would take up a lot of the room. So I don't know what they're going for here. It's daft, but okay. And then it instantly lays a lot of legs, even though it doesn't know the situation or the safe. No, excuse Baby Yoda. No, indeed. And I put away my tardigrade. I've got the Eagle Moss one over there. Very scaly and bad and evil looking. But anyway, lays all its eggs because that's what I wanted to see happen in season 1. And it gets pulled away by Dot, who really thinks this is worth doing. at some point, surely its data would report to the computer and tell it that a life form's inside. I don't know how these capable of understanding of this process. I mean, it's a stupid situation anyway. But whatever. Forces him out, away from his kids, and then flushes him into an airlock right outside engineering, I guess. And remember, tardigrades can fuzz out of existence in another place of time, of space. And if using my cyber network, they can also go in time, as we see later on. So, sure. Anyway, pushes it out, because why not? And then there are triples for some reason, and then more pipes, and then we get this room. Okay, and then we see outside of the room the scene from Naked Time, or Naked Now, one of the Nakeds, which wasn't in that corridor and didn't have lots of windows, and there isn't anywhere on the ship that has those sorts of windows, because that's a lot of windows, and if at the scale of that, it doesn't make much sense. And if that's the size of and that's definitely not the size of the bots that were in the Discovery episode, should be at least twice, if not 3 times the size. I mean, they're bigger than people. But in this, oh, look, batch tanks. Yeah, Jazz, yeah. Absolutely true. And I mean, Naked Now wasn't even near Naked Time, thank you. Wasn't even near Khan, so I have no idea why this scene was a thing, and there's no sense of time going forward. So again, another reason this isn't obviously canon, because this is not, it's just this fun jokey thing that doesn't make any sense. But there you go, there's Sulu, sure, whatever, and the thing comes in. Look, tardigrade is clearly in a Daniel Hall. Anyone else notice that no credit was given to the original writers or actors that were sampled for this episode? Yes, I thought that, Daniel. I expected it to say and stock footage by you know, guessed by William Shatner and stuff. That felt very disingenuous to me. I know they own it all, but that's really, didn't like that. Anyway, it sees tardigrade with red evil eyes. Sure. How did it get in the thing? Dunno. Then it leaves. Another airlock. Sure. And the inner grills aren't lit in this version. That's weird. The ship looks nice enough. And then the ship goes to warp. This is definitely the live long. Really? What a dick. And then it goes to warp. And then the target straight away goes to warp as well. Even though it goes faster than warp. Can it travel in subspace? I thought it travels on the mycelial network. Why would a mycelial network thing been travel at warp when that's a subspace bubble? It's a different plane of subspace. So I have no idea why that makes sense. No idea at all. But this is definitely one of the better bits of it. This actually has a bit of momentum and fun to it, which I appreciate, because they can't do good things with inside the ship really, so they gotta do fun stuff outside. And then it sees the refit it sees the Connie Discoveryverse version be attacked by the Green Hand for some reason, and just leaves instantly, and then it keeps warping with it, and then, I mean, not a bad Doomsday Machine. I mean, it's a bit simple, but it's certainly not bad. You can understand it, but I don't know what the other things are around it. But again, it's weird just to blast through them all, breeze through them all, because it gives each one a sense of who cares, and these are all quite dangerous situations there to deal with. But oh well. Ooh, Zathras. $5. You demand. You demand. Sci-Fi Nation, it was caught in the warp bubble, possibly, Samuel. Why would it be able to stay in a warp bubble? You have to have warp sustains to do that. That's part of the point. Things just can't be pulled along, otherwise they get forced out of warp. It's not how that really works. Zathras, I can't help but think that this short would be much better received if Discovery hadn't already made such a habit of ignoring canon material. Yes, certainly. Very true. But yeah, Doomsday Machine wins easily. Boom, there you go. Back at warp, even though it can't go at warp. And then Tholian Web with the original Tholian design. I appreciate the lack of detail there. That was actually quite nice. And this tells you we need a Discovery era Tholian episode. Tholian would have been cool. Oh, that's your bridge module. Terrible. Terrible, terrible. I mean, the window. So anyway, it just leaves the Tholian's web? Was this explained? It just follows it, so the web doesn't work? It just leaves? Okay. Okay, sure, why not? Then warps away, and then we see Abraham Lincoln. And again, we just ignore it and fly past it. Sure. Back to warp, and then it converts into the refit. Well, technically speaking, the Enterprise A, which is weird. And at least they got more things right with the A. I mean, it's certainly... This was certainly... It would have been a surprise if they hadn't already shown us this. But we get some actual canon, sort of. Well, they actually tried to make it look right, although as we know, the Enterprise A didn't fight the Reliant. So, as is normally the way Discovery works, or the team anyway, they don't get things right. I mean, now that this short was obviously made as part of the... or in the sense that they might have licensed the stuff out to use it. Well, I guess it's still movies, isn't it? But the show wasn't. But they probably used some other stuff when they knew they could use all the stuff, all the licensed stuff in one go. That's why it's felt. Okay, something deplugged. Weird. Anyway, but yeah, you get. Okay. Weird. But yeah, then you get this very short Khan non-sequence. Although I don't. The inner. What? The inner glows are glowing, and there's also Queen on the top? That's weird. I mean, at least it's closer. And the scale's about right. And they got a few things right, so good for them, I guess. But again, it's not rocket science. People can make refits really easily. And then it tries to grab hold, and it goes back to warp. Hey! TB Thurg, Cypherfan, Canadian $10. Merry Christmas, Trekyards! Merry Christmas, and thank you. Don't know what I was doing there, but thank you. Appreciate. Thank you. What a guy. What a guy. So you have the refit, which looks pretty much right. Again, inner grills is a little bit obnoxious with the wrong colour, but I mean, you know, considering how wrong they get the ships in Discovery and such, this is obviously much closer. Although it's still going at the wrong warp, and for some reason tardigrade has to... Whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyway, then... It's like, oh, this is weird. And then for some reason there's a window into the engine. Into the warp core. Window. You know, I assumed that tardigrade could just phase through hull because it can mycelial. In which case, if they'd included that as a plot point, it could just have gone and seen its babies. But no, there is a window to the engine room in the Enterprise A now. Anyway, and then a bird of prey decloaks, and we know this isn't, even though it's trying to be Star Trek 3, we know it's not, because there isn't the Saturn moon thing there, so again, it's not trying to be the same thing. But decloaks, and it is it looks like a bird of prey. They got a few things right, this team. Zathras, again! Why does the tardigrade have trouble keeping up with the ship? Why not just have it pop in and out? Could have had a lot more shenanigans that way. Yes, absolutely. Doesn't make any sense. And in all that time, the bloody robot does not inform the computer, the computer or the crew. Yes. I think there's just supposed to be a random warm room that looks a bit like TOS engineering. It's Discovery, don't overthink it. They didn't. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, stop scanning. But I mean, this was certainly... I mean, it's a very fast, cool scene. Oh, and the sad part is they're trying for it to be the same, and yet they get things wrong. The impulse engines look nice, though. They got the right texturing. Tardigrade's like, what? And then it goes... Oh, okay, that I missed. Okay, look at that. No, they've got the right torpedo. It also electrified. It was electrified in the original Star Trek 3 version. So I'll give them credit for that. That's a small detail. Although that angle is almost identically out of the movie. They probably just have had a shot of it there. But yeah, it shoots the hull, and you get a top view, which first of all looks great until you look at the impulse crystal. And given they have the inner core glow, the impulse crystal glow feels like a weird omission. But okay. Fleet pulse with back. The rear angle of the E looks almost perfect. Yes, absolutely. That's a good angle. Although they've got inner glows there. Anyway. But then you crop out, and for some reason the registry is now to the left. And the bridge dome is incredibly inaccurate. What the hell? What? What sort of bridge dome is that? What are they? And there's windows in front of the bridge? What? At least I didn't put a bridge number. But look, why is it on the side? Well, this is their own short. I understand the 3D model's wrongly turned, but how did this get through proof watching? I mean, this is why, again, you say this isn't canon, because look, that's just 100% wrong. It's embarrassing, honestly. Ugh. Gareth Fairclough. Two things. Hopefully Gareth, that was only one super chat, but hey, if it was two, I'm all for it, but sorry if it was whatever. Sam, look at registration number on the saucer in this shot and the next few. Yes, it's embarrassing. And then as the ship starts to be destroyed, for some reason gets hit on the nacelle and the saucer, which is wrong. And it's the Enterprise A, and they're not phasable turrets if there are on the Discovery Prize. The saucer is spinning. The ship's famous spore drive, yes. Yeah. And yeah, and then the Discovery Bridge console blows up, even though it's actually the Enterprise A, not the refits. This is a different bird of prey attacking the Enterprise A and blowing it up. We never saw the Enterprise A blow up, to be fair, but again, more mistakes. They didn't even bother putting displays here, whatever, so that blows up. And then, why is there no crew? Even if it is Star Trek 3, which it isn't, because it wasn't the A and this wasn't the bridge. If you put the effort in to make the sick bay, why don't you put the effort in to make the Enterprise A bridge? That doesn't really make sense either. Again, they sort of tried and sort of didn't. And yeah, where are the Klingons on the bridge? That's so true. If it's trying to be Star Trek, that's a great point, Ozzy. If it's trying to be Star Trek 3, then there should be Klingons with a robot on the bridge doing fire. And if this is when the bird of prey attacked, then Kirk is on the bridge, and then the robot comes up to the bridge, even though there's only one fire and it's the front for the first bit. So Fleet pulse back. The E wasn't damaged in TSFS either. TSFS. I don't know what you're trying to say there, but sorry about that. But yes, wasn't damaged that much by the bird of prey, just some. Anyway, then it fire things, and I don't know what this is trying to be. I mean, this I think is meant to be the engine room. This is the engine room, yeah, okay, so it's the engine room, sorry. The engine room is getting whatever, and it's just the same consoles, massive engine room. Again, nobody here. Oh, the search block, sorry, yeah. Zathras. I don't have a problem with the cartoon not matching the destruction sequence exactly, but somehow return the saucer off by 45 degrees is really silly. Yes. And Eugene, directed by Michael, composer, isn't he composed for JJ 2009? Yes. He was brought on because he still works. I mean, the part of the production company is part of the JJ production company that's making this. Oh, Gareth, someone says why it was rotated. Well, I said spore drive. But yeah, he was brought on to do some cool stuff because he also knows the team, and it's still, you know, JJ-esque verse, isn't it? Anyway, then the tardigrade gets back in somehow, and now the robot's head is floating. Okay. And then tries to get the eggs. He's so happy because I guess he's time traveled via the tardigrade network, the mycelial network. What, like 15, 20 years? And Dot's still following the ship, and they didn't get upgraded. The same robot is there 20 years later. And so the tardigrade things, no one found it. The dish of the Enterprise A is rotated because they need to line the whole Ephraim flies through to match the composition of the storyboards. I guess no budget to fix damaged model. Weird. So there, yay! But then he gets flung through the non-warp core to the end of the non-warp core, which is a corridor, and then the corridor is out. There's now a grilling there, and then he smacks it. I mean, that's what repair robots are known for, or should be known for, is smashing smashing an alien life form. Even though a minute later he talks about it, bleeps about how it knows the life form. Why is it doing this? Why isn't it alerting the crew? It's a kids movie, and yet it's hitting the main character viciously with an egg in its... What? Aren't these things controlled by the computer? Why is the computer doing this? And then the grating is destroyed again, I guess. And then he electrocutes him. He has a spanner. And then he has a fumble attack, boom, and then things go bad. Electrocutes him again, because that worked the last time. Out another airlock, a different airlock. There's 2 airlocks on engineering. And Dan 23, Sci-Fi Nation. Yeah, 25% was never confirmed. No, there is a 25% thing, but it's Dan, we've talked about it so many times. We know people that worked on it. I don't want to go into it again. Although if you super chat me $5, I will talk about the 25% rule once again. Because, you know, we know all about that and how it's retconned by the producers. La la la. A ban on AI was not because of control, because these programs, these dots screwed up, and some dots caused first conduct massacres. Love it. But anyway, so they go through the second airlock in wherever this is. They go out the same door. Okay. And then he unsmokes things, finds the egg, sees the other eggs. And then the self-destruct happens. Trekyards, when the computer says the destruct sequence is activated, the ship immediately starts blowing up. When the search for Spock, they have 1 minute countdown. Yes, indeed. It's yes. So then the ship... That's a nice shot, though. They got that right. The source is all the right place. It's nice. Looks nice. But they're not near Genesis because they didn't have this nebula, nor the... This isn't Star Trek 3, obviously, because it's not A and it's not the... wasn't that thing there. But then the ship goes kablooey. I thought it was a saucer shot that destroyed, but I guess not, because I went through it. Weird. It goes to blowy uppy. Tardigrade's like, oh no, my babies, even though I could probably just make more, but okay. And it is quite sad. It's like, oh yeah, I felt sad here. Don't know why it couldn't into it and grab him, but whatever. Sure. Sad. And you see the refit. Trying to look like it did last time. Even more fire on the nacelle. Sure, whatever. And it explodes on the atmosphere of Genesis. Huh. It's not what happened in the movie, but okay. and it blows up in the atmosphere of Genesis. Again, not what happened in the movie, but okay. Tardigrade's like, oh no, my babies. And look, the robot in engineering survived a full antimatter explosion of the saucer, even though also then it explodes. Somehow Dot survived, whatever, and then he pissed off, as you can imagine, because he just killed lots of kids. Tries to attack him, and then he opens up his chassis. And then look at the babies that even the eggs were huge and it wouldn't fit into the bot. And my big weird thing in this moment was that the robot designed to repair the ship chose to save babies of an unknown life form that it itself tried to kill earlier, rather than to either save the ship, help the ship, or do anything to do with the ship. Really shitty repair robot, and you can understand why they only existed in this non-canon stuff, because they're rubbish. But oh look, all of our kids, oh look, there's so many kids, and then they're cute. They are cute. Even smaller tardigrades. And then I guess they're friends forever now, and it hugs it, even though it beat him up a lot, but okay. And then it warps away, pretty much tardigrades away, and then it ends. And it's like, wow, that was both a lot of information and not a lot of information at the same time. Oh. Wow. Yeah. So that's the two shorts in a rather long nutshell there. What do you guys think? I'd love to hear what you guys think overall, because there's been quite a few shorts so far, of varying degrees of quality. This one is number 9, I believe, in the franchise of shorts, the second animated. We'd put them both on the same day, but hey ho, that was their idea. And one more left, like I said before, with the Picard one. But I'd love to know now, guys, as we're gonna close out in a moment. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts. 81 people watching, 48 likes. Oh, come on, guys. 81 people watching. You can like it without actually having to be a YouTube account, have a YouTube account. So please click like. 48 right now. I want to see 60 likes in the next minute or two. 80 people watching, 60 likes. Come on, click like. It's that easy. But I want to hear you guys. I want to hear your review score out of 10 for each short. So Burnham short, and then Dot tardigrade short, depending on what you want to spell, whatever, out of 10, and how they compare, and that's kind of just general enjoyment. And if you want to give them out of 10, like compared to the other shorts, because the other shorts are of varying qualities as well. So I'd love to know your scores, and I'll give my score, and then we'll do straight about this later as well. But Zathras, again, $5. You are totally owning this chat. Zathras. Are you trying to be a reference to Babylon 5 there, or not? This whole short felt like fan service. The short. They definitely were pandering. It's a shame they can't do it a bit better. Yes. Yeah. It's certainly poor fan service with no substance at all. Fan service done wrong is even better than fan service, because it's harder to make things wrong sometimes than right. This second short shows a total lack of research, a lack of trying to be accurate. I'm sure they rushed out, lack of time, which is a shame because they got lots and lots of things wrong. If they're trying to retcon things, then they can throw a ton of stuff into canon which doesn't make any sense, and we're already getting to an overflow of damaging canon making sense stuff, and that's a real shame. That's a real shame. Fan service can make the world go round, because guess who's watching your production, guys? The fans. And if you can't capture your own fans, if you can't capture your own fans of the franchise, then go find a new audience, but then you're going to have two very different sets of groups, and that's a real shame. Yeah, that's a real shame. I think fan service is just, for people that like your franchise. But guys, please do put in your review scores. I really, really want to hear. And 54 likes. I want to hear 60 or see 60. Like I said, sorry, I've got the heater on because I'm getting quite cold right now. I want to see 60, so keep liking, please. And I'll give my score in a moment. But it's definitely a weird one. Definitely a weird one. And let me just tell this to do... Great, that is working. Okay, cool. Gareth Fairclough, £5. Sue to the Perb. Haven't seen the Blessed Burnham short yet, so can't review. But that was 1 out of 10. Wouldn't call it fan service, more like cynical attempt at manipulation. Yes. Although I think one thing that is worth noting is that now CBS can legally license and use anything of Star Trek. Cool. So therefore they used Kirk's VO and all these things, which is great, opens up a lot of opportunities. But again, it's weird they got so many things wrong, and they put the time into creating this. It's weird the things they would and wouldn't do. As when the refit does not have a vertical, it has a horizontal warp core, which we know and we've seen, and more things wrong. But let's read some 56 likes. Come on, 60. I want to see 60. Let's read some of the reviews. Let me move it here so I can look at the camera roughly. And I'll respond to Bill. Actually, I'll respond to Bill now. Bill Barkley says, Samuel, ? Yes, hello. When are you doing your Rise of Skywalker spoiler talk since the film is out this coming Friday? Well, Bill, it's Thursday for us, I think. Yeah, Bill comes out on Thursday in the UK, so I'm seeing it on Thursday. Managed to get a ticket at the biggest screen in my cinema. We're seeing it, and we're going to be doing the live spoiler talk on the 20th, Friday the 20th, this month for Star Wars Episode 9, and we're going to do that earlier in the day, and we're going to do a, not necessarily drunk chat, but we're going to be full drinking rules. We're going to have booze with us, we're going to be drinking casually, and you guys help us to get through the month, as you can imagine, doing less lives and less successful, apart from the one, which was really useful. This month is going to be probably our worst month, income-wise, in 2.5 years, so if we can make a bit more on the Star Wars one, that will really help us out to at least make it equal to last month, which was the worst one in a year and a half. But we'll do drinking rules, so you can help Super Chat to get us a bit boozy, and I'm sure then we'll have some honest talks about Star Wars. But I'm excited about that. Well, I'm not that excited about the film. It'll have to be better than The Last Jedi. Boy, it better be. So Palpatine, that'd be interesting. Visual quality was for both was good, but neither really fits in with Star Trek, and the second one was just idiocy in design and writing without any thought on procedure stuff it would use. Fan service for not fans done by not fans. Yeah. 57 likes, come on. 3 more likes, please and thank you. Michael Burnham, Lion Queen, and Tardigrade face slap makes me sad. Watching Expanse and Mando makes me happy. 4 and 5. I've got no problem with a bit of fan service, but they make so many mistakes. They would have been more successful if they hadn't bothered. Team MRHS 0.0001 out of 10 for short, Burnham short, and 1.1 for E&D short. Okay. Overall, 2 out of 10. People got to make a living no matter how crappy the film product is. Well, yeah. In the class of Trek animated products, I say give them 6.5. 1 to 2 out of 10. Thank you, Gareth, again for that super chat. Animation on both was good. Attention to detail was shocking. The animation of the first looks good, but the dot short animation was truly awful. Looks dire. Alan Parr, 7 out of 10 for animation, 2 out of 10 for 2 out of 20 for details. That's 1 out of 10. Aussie Dot gets 2 out of 10. Little gets 4 out of 10. No scores for these, Samuel. They are what they are. They never catch my attention. Oh, but Zathras says, I'd say 7 out of 10 to be honest. I still liked it more than a lot of other shorts so far. I like the idea, but the implementation is pretty bad. Fleet Paul Swiftback paying on 50 on Faith. Well, we did get 50. I think you mean 60. They could have done better with Girl Who Made the Stars. Ephraim Dot was fun. Star Trek Tom and Jerry. 4 out of 10 for both. Star Trek Discovery, Sonic Green Process. Stunning season 3 version. Early 2002? Early? Well, it won't be the same time as Picard. Can't imagine that. I imagine mid to late at the very earliest. yeah, SWTX Chaser, 3 out of 10 for Burnham short, 4 out of 10 for the other one. Would have been better if the tardigrade was messing with the crew to keep the eggs safe. Very true. No stamens in it? Yep. I think the dot short would have been better with far more digital detail, less crappy locomotion using another Connie rather than, yes. Oh Christ, didn't know that, Daniel. And Eugene, once again, thank you so much. That is $8. Amazing, thank you, really helps. Come on, 57 likes, come on. 57, click like. I can't stand these. Not clearly bad, not clearly good, not clearly mediocre, just X out of 10. What X stands for, I don't know, but it's not a number. Strong words, my friend, strong words. So my thoughts on these two shorts. So the Stars one, I like the space station shot. Look, that's a great shot. Look at that. And I was really intrigued by that. This short is a waste of promise. You could have so much link into Discovery canon. You could have given Sneak Mind Green something to do in terms of, you could have had. I mean, you could have had the present day Sneaker voice it and do something cool with a flash with a flashback, or she could have told Spock this and have Spock another one. The adventure was, I mean, the visual effects on this stuff was great, but again, if it doesn't serve a story, it doesn't serve a purpose. This was honestly a huge waste of money by CBS, and that's a shame, because this could have been anything, and it was nothing, and that's a real shame. They should have just done a prequel story about Michael Burnham. I think this would have been more interesting if it was a pre-season 1, season 2 short, and showed the parents doing stuff, or a mid-season 2 short. That would have been kind of interesting. But this one, I mean, it's like a Christmas, a Christmas story cartoon thing that you put on, you watch once, and you never go back. You never look at it again, and it has no reason to exist, sort of thing. But it works for like a one-off thing. So this one, I think, in terms of like a little piece of cinema, it's quite nice. I'll give it a 6 for just a general piece of cinema, but for Star Trek, it's a 1 out of 10. I mean, it's not Star Trek, it's nothing to do with it. It doesn't do anything, it's a total waste of space. And that's a real shame. And it's the worst short, because it's a nothing short. At least the Tilly crap one, which made no sense, at least had Tilly and had a little bit of Star Trek, but it was Discovery Trek, which is obviously not particularly good Trek. As Stuart said in his being here for a few minutes, it was boring. And having the tardigrade there was just stupid, because if you make a tardigrade link with Burnham, then you should actually have that be part of the storyline in season 2 or season 1. The dot one, Assault Vampire. This one, see, I was going in expecting it to be absolute crap, and I enjoyed it. If this was how we introduced the tardigrade, as this fun, lovable creature that can travel the universe, this would be great. But the fact that we introduced to it in season 1 as a vicious, destroys people's bodies, kills them gruesomely, yes, hurt by the captain and such. I mean, yes, tragic story, but I mean, it's still a vicious creature. What a weird thing to do. It doesn't mean anything, doesn't link to anything, I wish it was all the JJ verse ship, slip of tongue, or Discovery verse. I would have added more, I think, if it was just trying to be all it, but it tried to do other stuff. Because I like the comedy of this. This is fun. I like that. It's cool. I like it. I wish I could just phase through the whole easy thing to fix. This was stupid. Should have been Discovery, either Pike or Kirk in the full uniform in their own random sick bay talking to Notkhan, someone else. That would have been much smarter. This is confusing and doesn't add anything. It detracts because there isn't a window there, so it creates more non-things. I don't know. And then the dot is a terrible invention, just absolutely makes no sense. And its motivation makes no sense here. Reason for it being makes no sense. What the hell is this meant to be? It's illogical. And then this is just like I said, Tom and Jerry makes no sense. Again, lack of thought put in here. What's... Oh, that's the thing. I just they're trying, but they're trying all the wrong ways. You know, why? If they're tribbles there, that's quite a real thing to care about, but no. And then whatever the hell this is meant to be, and then we've seen the Discovery Prize now do all these things, and then becomes the refit, and the refit's wrong in a few ways, but still looks better than it could, but it's not that difficult to shape. This one I did enjoy, but it was, again, massive missed opportunity and missed potential. It could have been so much better and greater and clever and grander. So I think this one... Oh, God. Well, I'm going to end on a shot of the two of them, because that makes a lot more sense than end of them hugging, because that's kind of cute. There you go. Oh, so cute. This short, I think, as a piece of children entertainment that's colourful and some energy, Tom and Jerry, I think if you completely remove the canon and make this like a completely peripheral Christmas cartoon, I enjoyed it. 6.5, maybe a 7. If you look at actually a piece of Star Trek, then it's pretty poor because it fails on most levels, unfortunately. We've never had... I mean, even the animated series kept with physical laws and logic more than, obviously, it could have. So, first time I've seen just a random logic, physics-losing cartoon. This one gets... Out of the shorts, I'll give it a 3 out of 10, I think. Second worst? No. That's tricky. It messed up more canon. But the Tilly short was so stupid with beaming out to nowhere, and that was really stupid, though. Oh, it's tricky. When they make bad content, it's hard to review bad content. Oh, it's tricky. Oh, another 2. Beautiful. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Really helps. I mean, seriously, you guys, every single 5 is amazingly helpful. Oh, look, the title is the same colours as my turtle mug. Yeah, seriously, these super chats make the channel rather than breaking the channel, so really helpful. But Fleet Poor, $4.99, paying for 60. Amazing, guys. Thanks for watching. Yes, 60 is brilliant. And Zathras again. What a pal. I got the feeling... $5. I got the feeling that the tardigrade short was rushed. I would agree. Looked like there were quite a few general CGI errors that could have been fixed, but weren't. Absolutely, 100%. I wouldn't be surprised if this one was meant to come out in like a week and a half, or 2 weeks, or 3 weeks, and they rushed it to be this week to allow time for Christmas, and it was like, oh, shit, we can't do a refinement pass because there's so many errors. That's embarrassing, honestly. It's Baby Jar Jar. When do they have sick bay? No, they don't. Samuel, episode 7 of Mandalorian's on Wednesday. Yeah. Dash. Ian D. Loved it. 8 out of 10. Simple fantasy. Tom and Jerry on the Enterprise. Focus on the physics and logic. This is idiotic as trying to judge Tom and Jerry short by reality's rules. No, it's true. I mean, that's why I gave it a 6. Because it doesn't really... You know, the story's very simple. But I mean, what does it add to the... The problem is, that's why they can't say it's canon. If they say it's canon, then you've got to... Once they say it's canon, then you've got to use it by similar rules as the rest of the show. If it's not canon, you can do whatever it wants, but then we can ignore it. And if we can ignore it, what's the point in making it? You know what I mean? It's like making the Joker movie. People said, well, why make it if it's not part of the universe of the DC verse? But now they're saying they're going to have Joaquin Phoenix in the Robert Pattinson Batman. So now by doing one side, they've almost retconned in their own Joker, and therefore they get to play that more because he's so good. So, you know, sometimes retconning is fun. But yeah, there you go. That is my review at 61 likes. More super chats than I was expecting, so thank you guys. Really helps. We're, like I said, having a bad month, but that happens. that happens. 2 bad months, but we are going to offer some prints later on next week. Start next week, we're going to offer guys can buy some prints. Oh, and thank you, Brian. Thanks for joining in for this. How long have we been going for? 1 hour and 9. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, we're going to be sending some prints. We're going to raise about $1,000 in the next 2 weeks via prints. We're hoping to sell 10 celebrity signed prints if we can. Some cool stuff we have for sure. We're going to talk about them later on next week. If we can do that, then we'll be able to cover we'll be able to have a medium for these 2 months. So 1,000 is important. So if you're interested in a prints, we've got Babylon 5 prints, Athros. We've got some really cool Babylon 5 prints actually. Then please email trekyards@hotmail.com. We have some stuff for all ship lovers of Babylon 5 for sure. And we'd love to, like I say, we need that income. And then obviously Picard starts in January. We have the other short, which should be a lot better than this. Because it's a Picard short, hopefully actually, prime, linking to proper canon. Yay, maybe. And hopefully we'll see the in-between uniforms in live action, which will be cool. Maybe the Enterprise E, possibly. Although now we know he has the other Odyssey class in that part of the timeline, so seeing that in 3D would be really great. And then the Star Wars episode 9 on Friday, like I said, drunk stream. That's going to be really fun. And I might do a live as well tomorrow, talking about my thoughts and experience of Star Wars episode 8, because we did do a review when it came out. Our review didn't come out because reasons. It was a very long review. But if you guys are interested in having me vent about Star Wars episode 8 before 9 comes out, then that would be great. Would be fun, certainly. Just a thought. It'd be nice to think about it, talk about it again, even though it's a rubbish film. If you guys are up for that, then maybe. Dash 2 for this review. Blinker, blind, deaf, dull, imperceptible, and lacking imagination. Wow, that's rude. But hey, if you're blinking in your own way and only see it as fun, whatever, that's fine. You be yourself. You do what you want. We just love the canon that we've enjoyed for 50 years, or at least my entire life. Yeah, it's all good. No, Dash, it's not. It's because YouTube money goes down and lack of lives and less ship videos. Yeah, exactly, Dash. I mean, the joke is that those channels that hate Discovery get a lot more money than we do. People donate massive amounts of Doomcock and other such channels. So if we were haters, part of the conventional hater group, we'd get a ton more income. But we don't do that. We do our own stuff and we try and be fair, and that's really important. We think fairness is really important, and so we review and judge it all as it comes, and we can do it. Yeah. Oh, Bill, I've actively avoided the leaks on Rise of Skywalker, because if the leaks are true, then you're spoiling the film for yourself. And I really want to go in without being spoiled, because that, I think, would be much funner. Personally, so that's what I might do. But if you guys are interested in seeing a live, possibly tomorrow on My Thoughts on Episode 8, I might be able to give it another hour. If we can raise $30 again, that will always help. And it'll be fun. I might actually have to rewatch the movie for that. Oh dear. But yeah, there you go. Bit of fun. I certainly enjoyed talking about this with you guys. We're gonna do a short edited video review for you. Hopefully for Monday, with me and Stuart, to talk about these in a more condensed way. This was more of my only watched them today, so it's sort of first reaction, and you could see my face, some disbelief at some of the stuff we've been presented. Weird. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this bonus live while Stuart is at a Christmas party. Yay for him. And in fact, guys, I'll give you a little teaser. On my other monitor, I've got me in uniform, a Star Trek uniform, for a different project, which I'll probably share on the Trekyards Facebook page. It's just funny, I was in uniform 5 minutes before the live. Yeah. Which you'll see. I've got a plan to reveal for the first time this new uniform. And Bill, have you watched the 3 episodes of Crisis? No, I'm waiting for all 6 to come out. / I actually need to catch up on Arrow and Supergirl. I did Flash. It was okay. Supergirl is okay so far. Arrow, I want to be awake. And yes, Athos has a great comment. I'd imagine that there are tertiary advantages to being fair too. Much easier to get in contact with the artists that worked on production. If you aren't hating on their production, go to Trekyards. Yes, all the more pure, we say haters, the negative channels that only see the negative, which is fair, there's a lot of negative, but don't talk about the positive when there are positives, even if they're small or medium or big. They obviously make a lot of money on YouTube because of the subscribers, Patreon people that they want to use the hate, but they don't get people from the show. They aren't friends with Rick Sternbach and Doug Drexler and John Eves, and they don't know CBS directly, and they don't have a sort of a truce with them, as it were, that we can make things and do things, and they don't get asked to do productions, and they don't know the Orville team, all these cool things that because people appreciate our fair measuredness. I mean, we talked to the Chinese tactical communication, whoever is on the bridge. He knew Trekyards. He had a big grin when he saw us at Vegas. He's like, "Oh, hey guys." You don't get that from being an actively negative YouTuber. So we sacrifice great potential income for moral, for being honest with ourselves and with you, and for being fair and balanced, and because we're middle. Neither side likes us, the haters and the lovers, because we don't fit that mold. So we try. We try. Yes, Athos, you really, really should. Fleetpaw, I find the Trekyards review to be the fairest out there, and that's not because I have a wrench. You can dislike stuff without bashing it. Yes, but you should also know when to call out mistakes, because there aren't just, ooh, that's not so great. There are mistakes, and the Discovery Season 2 was a big improvement on Season 1. I just wish the story was better, because the storyline really let it down that year. The plot holes and lack of logic was a problem, but individual episodes were certainly funner. But Picard will be better, and Season 3 will be better even still. But yes, thanks guys. There's a little bit of whatever. And yeah, thanks guys for turning. Gareth, Sam, the best thing about being in the middle is that you get to sit down on the fence while everyone around you stand around where nowhere to sit. That's hilarious. Thanks, man. And Dan, he likes the video on the comment. Yes. Oh, and Tangerine. Yeah, ranting journalism, there's a difference. Yes, guys, I will pimp out today's episode. Today's episode is on the TOS Klingon Bird of Prey from the comics. Now that is a really fun episode. Let me do a cheeky little plug, because I've got a few of you here. Might as well. That is the wrong. Oh. Are you gonna load? There you go. Trekyards, look, we're currently live. But no, there is the new episode, the TOS Klingon Bird of Prey. That was a fun one we filmed 2 weeks ago. It's a weird one, but it's a cool one. We had a lot of fun looking at that. I do some comparison renders, as you can imagine. 648 views. Love to see that hit 2,000 over the night. So if you do enjoy licensed but not canon, designed and approved by CBS but not from the show, then do check out the TOS Klingon Bird of Prey review. It's a really interesting take on a potential. Gareth, which comic is that from? God, what came out recently? It's from. It's called New Federation. Hold on. I think I actually have it. Yeah. Or maybe not. I don't know. Is my Eagle Moss magazine there? Oh, I don't know. Well, maybe Eagle Moss magazines. I don't have the Sorry, but yeah, it's from a recent one. Year 5. Thank you. I think it's Year 5. Yes, I think it is. Anyway, go enjoy, go watch, share if you can, and to end up there, dream up there, $5 on a. God, these look awful. $5 to help. Appreciate. Yeah. But a cute little tardigrade. But thanks so much, guys, and I might see you tomorrow if I feel up for it to talk about Star Wars episode 8. But put in the comments right now. I want a sense of majority. Would you tune in for 10 p.m., 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, looking at my thoughts on Star Wars episode 8, The Last Jedi? Tell me now. Yay or nay? Yay or nay? Right now. Yes or no? Just type in yes or no. Yes or no. I'd love to know, so do let me know. And yeah, I'll go once you guys let me know. Would you want to see a Star Wars live tomorrow about episode 8? My thoughts. My thoughts. Dumbledore. My thoughts. Dumbledore. Yes, nay, sure. Indeed, 1, yes. Yes, much yes. Matthew Ficinti. Nope, that's, sorry. Fitini? Hertzl. $2. Yes, well, thanks, appreciate it. Which was awesome. Yes. Sorry, Samuel, but no. Last Jedi gutted me. Yes, me too. Dan, note episode 8. Fair enough. And Co says yes. So at least 8 of you will show up. But really going to that again, and actually I'm gonna have to watch it tomorrow. I mean, to be fair, it would be interesting to watch the movie. I've only seen it once before the new movie. That would make sense, certainly. But boy, to relive Last Jedi. But I feel like I should. Darn it. But I really should. But then should I watch Force Awakens before as well? Do a back-to-back? That's pretty much my entire day if I do that. But could be interesting. Samus Jowl confirmed. Yes. No. Your turn. Yeah, anyway, thanks guys. I got some yeses, so maybe, and I'll let everyone know early in the day. But I just enjoyed chatting to you guys. It's fun, it's nice. See you guys soon. Bye.